back to the news at 10. A second tremor has hit Kaduna State, Nigeria's northwest region. The Kaduna State Emergency Management Agency, KADSEMA, however, says that no lives were lost from the tremor that occurred at Koi community in Jaba local government area of the state. The Executive Secretary of KADSEMA, Mr. Ezekiel Babakarik, who visited the community, also denies reports that a similar incident occurred in Nok and Sabandagi villages today. He told our correspondent that the earth tremor occurred twice only in Koi community on Saturday and in the early hours of today.
There was an incident that occurred yesterday, but it's not as how people painted it through social media, Facebook and what have you, because there was this earth tremor that happened, and in another way, a slight shaking of the earth, but there wasn't any casualties, be it destruction of houses, loss of life, or anything of that nature. There wasn't anything. And even when the citizens, the residents of Koi are going on their normal activities, everything is calm.
The Minister of State for Agriculture, Senator Heineken Lokobiri, is hopeful about the future of the Niger Delta in agriculture. The minister, who told residents of Bayelsa during a tour of budding farms in the state, emphasized the commercial gains of farming. He asked the youth in the state to stop pipeline vandalism and kidnapping. Our correspondent Gloria Umezuki reports.
45-year-old Waibife Billy is among several other women here in Bayelsa who locally and proudly engage in gari processing from cassava. They display their efforts to the visibly impressed Minister of State for Agriculture, Senator Heineken Lokobiri, who is on tour of budding farms in the state.
We be farmer. Any type of farmer we appear. Me, when we work this kind of work, when we come out here 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, we dey go farm, go produce gari or plantain farm. So we need money.
Instead of militancy and pipeline vandalism, the residents announced that agriculture is now the new face of Bayelsa. In some of the farms, we had to climb bridges built over the waterlogged areas, and clearly the farmers are not deterred. Again, it is evident here that attention is shifting from oil.
If we must get out of this problem, then we must grow beyond political sentiments. This crisis is all of us. We are all in it. We are all suffering. As quickly as possible, we must put all machineries in place to save the Niger Delta and save Nigeria ultimately. And by doing that, we must know that with agriculture, there will be so much money in this. For instance, in Bayelsa State, they are building a cargo airport. No cargo plane will fly in equipment and fly back empty. That means the business will die from the word go. But if we invest in agriculture, it means that a cargo plane that brings oil tools will be flying out with agricultural produce. Then the economy and the business will begin to be agitated for growth and engagement for everybody.
Farmers display a number of farm products to the minister and also a number of complaints. I spoke with some of the farmers who tell me that the government has to be more proactive.
We have been known as a tourism state where people fight only to make money or where people kidnap. But today we said no to that kind of name. Our youth have been trained. Our women, we have been training them from week to week, trying to impart knowledge in them because they said we have this, but they are not seeing it. So we want to showcase it today and to tell the federal government, let them support us. The little have been doing, let them support us to see if we will not do more.
At a town hall meeting, the Minister of State assured farmers of the federal government's commitment to ensuring access to finance and technology.
They have raised the issue of access to capital, and I've told them that, there is capital available. A lot of them have the belief that The model is still the old model where somebody will bring CFO and then he gets money and then it is diverted. Now, this time around, you are going to be given a loan, but it will be given in kind. They give you the seed and the fertilizer. And there is, a ready market for it, and government itself is ready to buy it in case there is no off-taker.
Clearly, what is now left is the political will by the government to bring this to reality. From Yenagoa in Bayelsa, Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.
It's a holiday, but some business was still transacted. Here's Emana Amawe to take us through.
You first. First Bank.
Many thanks for staying with us and welcome to Business News. A policy analyst and economist, Mr. Boniface Chizia, says Nigerians should review their consumption habits and consume more of locally produced items as part of measures to survive the current economic recession. Speaking with Channels Television on Monday, Mr. Chizia also advises the government to spend more and quickly too by implementing the 2016 budget and reviewing the Treasury single account.
Allocations and payments that you get from Central Bank, where's that money coming from? The thing is you have to inject that money in a systematic manner, not to overheat the system, not to turn your currency into a worthless paper. That's all the fear you have. But you must get people going. You must spend some money. For instance, we're talking about recession. We came here on this platform and we discussed when the budget was going to come that we wanted an expansionary budget. And I said to you, in that budget, we had a plan to implement that budget. We had a borrowing plan. And that plan is not being implemented for goodness sake. All we've had with that budget is gone from this missing to it's been padded and so on and so forth, and nothing is happening. And what I'm saying to you is that you have to spend money. You borrow the money, you spend it. Okay, now let me tell you, let's take, say, TSA, Treasury's single account. Look at what is doing to the system.
Policy analyst and economist Dr. Boniface Chizia. Now, the Debt Management Office will be offering 120 billion naira worth of bonds this week, as analysts expect the markets to take a cue from last week's auction results and the release of August's inflation figures. In the meantime, trading started bullish and then remained bearish for most of the week. Yields climbed further by 12 basis points to close at 16.33%. Rates expanded across the curve with short, intermediate and long ends expanding by 22, 8 and 2 basis points each. The Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries has raised its forecast of oil supplies from non-member countries in 2017, citing larger surplus in the markets next year. According to OPEC's latest monthly report, demand for crude from member producers is expected to average 32.48 billion barrels per day in 2017, down 530,000 barrels per day from the previous forecast. The group expects non-members' supply to rise by 200,000 barrels per day in 2017 against previous forecast of 150,000 barrels drop, citing the startup of Kazakhstan's Kashagan oil field and a lower than expected decline. It, however, maintained global demand growth outlook to remain at 1.15 million barrels per day in 2017. And crude oil prices recovered from earlier losses today after the dollar fell to new session lows on the currencies market as investors priced in a greater chance of U.S. interest rates rising next week. Brent crude oil futures rose by 0.46% to $48.33 a barrel late on Monday. Traders say price falls last week were a result of increasing oil drilling activity in the United States, which show that producers can operate profitably around current levels. OPEC estimates that oil output from its non-cartel rivals would grow more quickly than it originally estimated in 2017 due to larger surplus than the previous forecast. Concerns over possible interest rate hike from the U.S. Federal Reserve pulled the global equities across Asia and Europe into negative territory earlier today, but Wall Street closed in the green over an hour ago. Well, let's take a look at the numbers. And that's Business News Tonight. I'm Imana Amawe. The news at 10 continues.
You first. First Bank.
Telecoms company MTN has rewarded winners of its Mega Hunt promo with generating sets, flat-screen televisions and cash prizes of 1 and 10 million naira. The event, which held in Lagos, had partners of the promo and the National Lottery Commission in attendance. The Mega Hunt promo is a contest which sees prizes given out daily and weekly at the end of each month.
How do you dance for flat-screen TV, generator or million naira? What about 10 million? Well, take a cue from these winners of the MTN Mega Hunt promo. Their excitement is justified because before today, they never imagined their fortunes would change. That's until a phone call came through.
All glory and adoration be unto Jesus. And I thank God when I received the call last week. It was just like, the sky is my limit.
What I'm going to do is I have a plan for that because I'm very grateful today that I can win 1 million naira. I have so many plans for it.
Honestly, I'm very happy because I can use that money to buy many things and buy for my friends, my brothers, and my fathers.
The partners in the project are pleased to see how their plan has not just materialized, but is working out as planned.
It's making a difference in ordinary Nigerians' lives. It's trying to make a difference in every Nigerian's life.
I think it's very important that you also delight your customers because there are very many options that they could pick, but they've chosen to be with MTN. And there's got to be credibility and integrity.
For the body monitoring the promo, accountability is the watchword. And so far, so good.
We processed and found it worthy of what Nigerians want, and we approved and gave a permit for it. We monitored this and made sure that the processes were fair, the processes were transparent, and winners emerged.
So what MTN and its partners are saying to existing and future subscribers is this: sign on and believe. You may just be dancing down the aisle.
Next on the news at 10, Bose Omolayo wins Nigeria's 6th gold medal at the Paralympic Games in Rio. That's on sports. Please stay with us.